That was a true misunderstanding because I had never been asked to meet with the family.
A heated confrontation becomes a face-to-face conversation with Farmers Branch leaders and the family of a teenager killed by a police officer. Plus, students at UNT could soon get their hands on alcohol right on campus. Why school leaders think the plan is a good idea. And we're following breaking news out of Collin County, where investigators may have found the body of a missing, murdered woman.
It's 10 o'clock in North Texas. Fox 4 News starts now.
Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. An active scene tonight in Collin County near Farmersville. That is where a body has been found by investigators searching for 27-year-old Jesse Bardwell. Richardson police, federal officials, and the medical examiner are also on the scene. The body is expected to be identified as soon as tomorrow. This is a view from Sky 4 before sunset as investigators focused on a small, remote, wooded area. And this is what it looks like right now. There's a mobile command center on site, shining floodlights so that investigators are able to continue working. First, on Fox 4 News at 10, Allison Harris live at the scene. Allison, you've got the latest.
Clarice, tips from community members, a lot of investigative work, cell phone data, and get this, car computer data led police to this scene here. We are in a secluded area in Farmersville. There are fields surrounding us here. Right now at this hour, police are sorting through some possible other evidence other than the body that they found here on scene with spotlights. They are looking at some muddy tracks left behind by a car. That is important because if this is in fact Jesse Bardwell, you might remember that suspect Jason Lowe drives an Audi, and police believe he might have used his Audi and driven through some mud, possibly even got stuck in some mud while committing this crime. We spoke with Richardson police. Here's what they had to say.
We have the federal evidence recovery team out here working with us. They are processing the crime scene to make sure the most thorough and accurate job can be done out here. They will do the crime scene itself. And like I say, the ME's office has come in. They've retrieved the body now that they're done processing that portion of the crime scene. And the ME's office will take the body back to their office where they will do their work and then get back with us once they have that finished. The positive ID hasn't been made just yet. And so, obviously we're making good progress on the case. But even if it is our victim, there's a lot of work that we have to do yet before we can put closure to this.
Richardson police told us that they did tell Jesse Bardwell's parents that this could be Jesse's body that they found. They did say that DNA records and dental records are at the ready. The family is cooperating with them in that regard. I also just spoke to the sister-in-law, Jesse's sister-in-law, Kayla Bardwell, and she did express somewhat relief that this could potentially be Jesse Bardwell's body. Of course, again, we should say that we do not know that. Clarice.
Allison, very interesting. You mentioned car computer data. What can you tell us about that?
They did not elaborate more, but I had a, conversation to the side with the Richardson police spokesperson and said, what really led you here? And they said it was community tips, cell phone data, and car computer data. And it was interesting that possibly some of those digital footprints led them to this scene here in Farmersville.
And tell us what's in the area. Is it near residential? Is it near a main road? And how long have investigators been working this site?
We are fairly close to 78 and 380 here, but there are not a lot of homes here. There are some mobile homes, but it is a secluded area. They've been on scene here since about 6 o'clock tonight, so it hasn't been a very long time. Police tell us they plan to be here overnight so that they can see any other evidence once they get some daylight.
Jason Lowe is the suspect. Did he have anything to do with police finding this location?
Not that we know of. Police say that he was possibly talking to them early on. He has since retained an attorney, and they say that now he is only speaking through his attorney.
Lowe's Audi is missing the front bumper. Any indication that police found evidence and possibly parts of a car out there?
We did ask them that, and they say that they do see some muddy tracks out here, possibly some parts of vehicle, but we do know that that front end, the grille that's missing, was found in the Audi in the garage. So that is not out here. We do know that, but there could be other parts of the vehicle possibly, and that's what police are here to find out.
And there was a mention of federal help. Does that mean the FBI is out there?
There are some federal investigators. You know, I don't want to say, I think that they did say the FBI, but I don't want to say for sure. But they do have a lot of agencies out here, and they do have some federal investigators on scene.
Police have indicated the identity of the body could come tomorrow. Any indication how long the body has been in that area?
We did ask them that. They don't know. So they explained to us that when they see any indication that there is a body somewhere, the police take their hands off, and that's when the medical examiner comes in, and the medical examiner takes the body, and that process of identifying the body begins. So police really don't know that right now, and they say depending on how decomposed the body is could depend on how soon they get an identification.
All right, Allison, thank you. Good reporting from the scene in that field near Farmersville. Allison Harris reporting live. Thank you. City workers in Round Rock near Austin spent their day doing this, spotting and catching floating heavy debris. Intense rainfall kept water levels extremely high, as you can see, and several drivers had to be rescued from other areas in Central Texas. Chief Meteorologist Dan Henry is here. Dan, no matter how many times we say it, we cannot say it too often.
Turn around, don't drown. Absolutely right. That flood water is very, very powerful. Fortunately, we didn't see any issues like that here. For the most part, our rainfall totals were an inch or less in North Texas, slightly higher than that as you made your way down to the south and southeast of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where you're seeing some of those brighter green colors in Navarro County, Southern Hill County, where we saw over an inch of rain. The rain has moved out. The clouds, though, remain, and there could be a little patchy fog by early tomorrow morning. Current temperatures range from 59 in Bowie and Gainesville to 64 in Dallas and Fort Worth. And overnight tonight, we'll see temperatures only falling a few more degrees into the upper 50s to near 60. Coming up, we'll talk about what could be a return to daily thunderstorm chances next week, and some of those could be strong to severe. That 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
City leaders met with the family of a teenager shot by a now former Farmers Branch police officer. That meeting came just days after an intense protest. Tuesday night, protesters surrounded Mayor Bob Phelps after a city council meeting demanding he meet with Jose Cruz's family. Fox 4's Deanna Zoga tells us why the city manager now says the protest was not necessary.
Surrounded by protesters in the City Hall parking lot, Farmers Branch Mayor Bob Phelps left Tuesday night's City Council meeting in a marked patrol unit under police guard. A dramatic exit, the mayor says, didn't have to happen.
That was a true misunderstanding because I had never been asked to meet with the family.
Tuesday, activist Carlos Quintanilla, acting on behalf of Jose Cruz's family, led protesters into a city council meeting and called for the mayor or city manager to sit down with Cruz's family.
We're going to go to your home right after this. So the choice that you have is you're going to do us or we go to your home.
Going to my home?
Yes, sir.
Better not.
Yes, we will. He stood up, he laughed, he turned his back on us, and that angered people, and that led to the altercation that happened outside.
Quintanilla says he wanted assurances the city would not support former officer Kenneth Johnson in his legal defense. Johnson is facing murder and aggravated assault charges for March 13th shooting. He was off duty at the time and told police he saw Cruz and another teen breaking into cars at his Addison apartment complex. He gave chase, shooting and killing Cruz and injuring the second teen. Johnson resigned from the Farmers Branch PD, and the case is now in the hands of the Dallas County DA's office. This morning, Quintanilla and Cruz's family got their meeting and left satisfied.
We got what we wanted, and that is a face-to-face meeting with the family of Jose Cruz. And whether it was a problem of communication or missing contacts, we're happy.
Our hearts, my heart, goes out to the family of Jose Cruz, and so it's a very difficult situation to be in, and I understand that. We all understand that.
And I certainly understand the mother's grief, you know, and it's a tragedy. It really is, and You know, but it happened, and justice will take its course.
Deanna Zoga, Fox 4 News.
The mayor says when demonstrators showed up, it was near the end of the meeting. He says it would have violated open records rules to go off agenda and discuss the shooting while the meeting was in session. Authorities arrested a man they believe forced a UNT student into sex trafficking and then violated his parole by getting several guns. The investigation into Joshua William Jackson began in February when a woman claimed he forced her to engage in sex for money while she was studying at the university. This is a previous mugshot. During their investigation, authorities found several guns at Jackson's apartment in Wichita Falls. The weapons are a violation of his probation for a theft case from 2010. For now, Jackson is charged with illegal receipt of a firearm while under indictment. Authorities have not said what other charges he may face. UNT students in Denton could soon buy alcohol on campus. The plan is to sell drinks in the student union and use that money for scholarships and more. Fox 4's Brandon Todd live near the UNT campus with more on the plan. Brandon, years in the making.
Yeah, exactly, Clarice. And this is Fry Street here, the popular hangout where they've got bars and restaurants that serve alcohol right across the street from the campus. So students in support of alcohol sales on campus say there's really no difference. A game of pool in the student union, steps away from Fuzzy's Taco, is nice, but since it opened in November, students at UNT say with a beer or margarita, hanging out here would be even better.
I think that if you're 21 and you're of legal age, that you should be able to do that, even if it is on a student campus.
On Tuesday, the university applied to the TABC for a liquor license, which would allow alcohol sales on campus. The Student Government Association voted in favor of the application back in February.
And one thing that we've seen requested time and time again is for Fuzzy's to sell specifically margaritas, but alcohol in general.
The alcohol sales would mainly be at Fuzzy's, although the university would also be able to sell it at catered events instead of using a third-party vendor.
With the whole alcohol petition, I think it's just an opportunity for students to really feel more at home.
And any money made from selling it?
They allocate all the profits, 100% of alcohol sale profits in the union, to alcohol education, drug prevention, mental health, and academic scholarships.
Some students had concerns.
There are many undergraduate students who are underage. This is very accessible to them also, so they have to be very careful.
In terms of underage drinking, I don't think it's a non-factor for us because it's the same regulation as any other bar.
And of course, it's a long way off. The TABC still has to approve it. However, they're looking, the Student Government Association, to instill some of those regulations as far as how much alcohol is to be sold and where in the student union students would be able to take alcohol if they purchased it. Clarice?
Thanks, Brandon. We still don't know what brought down the EgyptAir jetliner bound from Paris to Cairo, but Egypt's aviation minister says it may have been a terrorist attack. Plus, we're still following the breaking news out of Collin County. A body found in a remote area near Farmersville tonight by investigators searching for the body of missing woman Jessie Bardwell. Her boyfriend, Jason Lowe, is already charged with her murder. Investigators from multiple agencies are on the scene. The body is expected to be identified as early as tomorrow. We'll bring you any updates to this story on air and online. Stay with us.
Are the Rangers ready to play their home games in the air conditioning? Reports of a new stadium proposal, including a retractable roof, coming up on Fox 4 News at 10.